Okay, welcome back to sportsciencetutor.com, and we're continuing with the research review series, and the current theme is going to be strength and conditioning research, primarily because the UK Strength and Conditioning Association has just published the research abstracts from last year's National Strength and Conditioning Conference. And so the first study that we're going to review, the title can be seen on this slide here, and it is investigating the use of a point-of-care salivary cortisol test in the professional football environment. As we can see, the study was conducted by Dunbar and his team, and the study itself was investigating a salivary diagnostics device developed by this company, IPRO Interactive. And in essence, it was investigating the agreement of salivary cortisol measures taken immediately using this IPRO Interactive device with measurements obtained through laboratory analysis. So in simple terms, saliva samples were taken from 29 subjects, and those samples were immediately assessed using the IPRO device. And then the same samples were taken to a laboratory for subsequent comparative analysis. And actually, the agreement between the IPRO device and the laboratory measures was very good. So on that basis, on the basis of the findings of this paper, and assuming that we do consider salivary cortisol values to be a worthwhile measurement, then I think we can say that the use of this device is perhaps we can recommend the use of this device as a cost-efficient and a time-efficient means of obtaining this kind of data. What might be interesting for follow-up studies would be to investigate perhaps other biomarkers, whether that be other hormone levels such as testosterone that might be of interest from the perspective of anabolic status, or perhaps looking at things like antibody levels, which could be of interest with respect to recovery status. In that regard, actually, this team of researchers have conducted another study, which can be seen here. This paper is actually available on the internet, and they looked, in this instance, at salivary immunoglobulin levels, and once again found a good agreement between the IPRO device and those measurements found through laboratory analysis. In addition, they found good repeatability of measurement, which is arguably just as important. One thing I would mention is that in both instances, this team of researchers is actually associated with the company itself that produces the product. And so you could argue that there is a slight conflict of interest there. And so in addition to follow-up studies looking at perhaps other measures, it would probably be of value for other researchers to replicate these studies just to ensure the robustness of the findings relating to the validity of this device. Hopefully that's been of interest, and stay tuned to sportsciencetutor.com for more strength and conditioning related research reviews.